Peace, 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 and love, and welcome, or welcome back. I was going to go live for this video, but I'm listening to my splenic intuition, or maybe I'm just trying not to go live, but it felt like this would be a better video for me to just kind of sit and read what I've written in my journal, and then just kind of let that be the message. And if you feel called to speak and chat, we can definitely still do that in the comments. I really did enjoy being able to speak live about something when I did the last live that I did, but I feel like maybe I'll save the lives for like a communal type of experience. Like, this might still be something that you will relate to, obviously, as you're clicking on this video, but it's kind of like a revelation that I've had in the last couple of days under this full moon Aries energy, which I wasn't actually expecting. Not to say that I don't expect anything from Aries energy, but I wasn't expecting much to happen to me with it being in my third house. But actually a lot has been happening for me this week. Like, it's kind of overwhelming, so I just kind of want to document it, not only for others to witness, but for myself to remember and to cement it by speaking on it out loud. So little Linksy is here to hold space and say hello. He's sending you some good old Reiki, massaging your energy field. And we're just gonna go ahead and get started, because you guys know how I do with long videos. So this occurred, the full moon was it on Moon Day? It was on Sunday. And a lot has been happening, which I basically explained with what I journaled, and anything that I feel I haven't covered here, I will definitely speak on after I read this. But I've been noticing, and maybe you'll notice this too, because I just keep trusting that the beings, you, that click on this video are going through things or experiencing things or kind of share the same energetic frequency or blueprint that I do in some ways, that the things that I share are actually useful to you. And I'm just trusting that as I share these things, people who are clicking on the video are like, oh my God, thank you for the download. And we can all just continue to do that for each other, because that's definitely what happens to me when I see people on YouTube, or I speak to people in the comment section. Anytime I interact with a video on YouTube, it's always divinely led and guided, and I always receive something from it. So thanks for clicking and hanging out. Let me go ahead and read this now. Full moon in Aries vibes. Expressing gratitude for all of the activations and downloads I have received the last 2 weeks. Last night was a major revelation, one I feel has been following me from lives past lived. Years and years of sitting in my room with these pivotal moments in which I am stuck at a crossroads. Not a fork, a crossroads. Me in the middle, looking ahead, to my left, to right, but swearing to not take a path that feels like turning me around. Last night, I felt myself at the edge of my matrix, the edge of insanity. What do I do? Where do I go? With who? Why? And how? In these moments, my choices have always been based on the other, not just realizing that I chose what to do because of others, but because of what my love partner is choosing. Last night, I kept asking which road in my cross was the one to take, not on different desires, but people. I must have asked 5 to 6 times for clarification, after having already, mind you, receiving an answer and not really understanding it. My guides did this on purpose, as they knew what I really needed to ask. I sat for a moment, and still and quiet. I thought about the question I really wanted to know, which I did, and I sat and I reflected, and I was like, okay. I was going over and over again, just trying to get these clarifications from Spirit. And then I was like, you know what is I just needed to take a moment, and you may even relate to this too, just sit and just take like a deep breath in and slow yourself down, and then be like, okay, what do I really, really just want clarity on? And that's essentially what I did. And my question was, why did I feel such a connection to Princess Diana? This question was the one I should have been asking in all of my lives. Not about Diana, but about what I wanted to do with my life to make an impact. The difference I desire to create with my influence and affluence. In asking these questions, my guides revealed not only why I feel such a connection to her, but also that I have learned and am now embodying, because I'm not basing what I am doing with my life off of a lover, but with the love of my own heart, my own soul. I was also shown that at this crossroads, that the direction I really needed to look was up, and remember where I really come from, why I came down here, what I'm meant to do, and how I am meant to do it. Irrespective of any human I may meet and come to love, my earth mission is first and foremost. My reason for reincarnating is not swayed by the desires of my heart. It was in these moments I felt immeasurable weight falling off of me and my third eye. And really was like, wait, why do I keep asking these questions in relation to people? Like, should I go down this path? Is this the right path with this person? Is it this path with this person? This path with this person? Kind of like, in Pocahontas, she's not at a crossroads. She is at a fork in the river, but I think Anastasia may have been at a crossroads. I don't know. I have to look at that again. That's just a side note. As if I had finally come both offline and online, pulling the plug on my own matrix and realizing just now, in the new Matrix, that even though Trinity, the new Matrix movie, realizing just now in the new Matrix that even though Trinity was asleep in a comfortable life, Neo awoke her to her truth, and yet he still doubted what was real and possible. She flew before he did and showed him the way, led him back to his truth by aligning to her own, just as I am now claiming mine. To have this realization that I am here on a mission, no matter who my partner is, may seem like a duh moment in your truth of life. In mine, it was the final program, the last agent to defeat. So much of my childhood, I saw my mother's path change course because the male in the house changed the timeline. This taught me to serve whatever path a man chose instead of my own. It is as my Saturn returns to me, the father of my chart, that I'm being taught to be the leader in my own life, to do what I am called to, and love whatever being enters my sphere, discern who belongs in it, speak truth with grace, know what I offer, and choose what to receive. To follow my joy, not a boy. How empowering, liberating to be the change in my own right, not in relation to a man. To work within my temple and trust that the king meant to sit beside me will present himself and will know his truth, path, and purpose. And if he is not totally clear and is the twin to my flame, and if he is not totally clear and is the twin to my flame, I don't understand the last part of that sentence. Setting ablaze my own path will set ablaze his own. Amen. He will meet me in his core, his soul. Until then, I can move forward in purpose, in love with myself, and the life I deserve to live for myself. I will be ready to greet my lover, to rise and support each other as we assist in the shift of new consciousness here on Earth. I am beyond empowered and grateful for this truth that has taken me 29 years to learn. I trust this truth will liberate those meant to receive this message, freeing them from their own matrix. Maybe that person is you. If it is, I'm grateful to share in this epiphany with you for your newly transformed path. Simply remembering you are here to live your own life, and remembering you are here to live for your own love first. Live for your own love first. I feel a lot of that ties to self-worth. And not that I ever felt that I had a lack of it, but never really paid attention to it. Mostly assessing others and trying to build up their worthiness or their value, but I didn't really take a lot of inventory on my own value. It's been just recently that I've been recognizing the role that I play within my own life and the lives of others, and what I am capable of offering to others, my gifts and my services. And don't ask me why, but for whatever reason the other night, it really took me like, there are just these experiences that I have had where like I legitimately feel crazy. Like I feel like I'm like, does anyone else have this problem? Am I the only person who's like experiencing this like feeling where you totally just like convince yourself that a reality is the one you're meant to be living and it's like not, or like considering all these other timelines and you can sort of make them all fit, and then you like convince yourself. Like a couple months ago, I totally and wholly believed like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Kauai and we're just gonna never leave. We're gonna stay. Yeah, we're not gonna leave. We're gonna stay there. We're just gonna live there forever. Like completely ungrounded, really. And I've really been working on grounding into my body, which has been assisting me in being realistic, obviously. Not as fantastical, but there's a healthiness to some fantasies, to keeping your dreams alive. And some of the main messages that I received from Spirit was the Eight of Pentacles, was the Strength card, was the Star card, and there's one more. And it obviously is one I don't see a lot. The Sun. Those are the ones that came out when I was asking for my connection to Princess Diana, like why I felt such a strong connection to her, and I really want to like do that sort of service here on Gaia. And what I liked is that she, even though she married into a wealthy family and had that ability to have some kind of like influence with her affluence, she chose to do a lot of beautiful things with that power that I had never seen any of the other like matriarchy do, or whatever those people are do. So it was really cool that she chose, even still inside of like maybe a matrix she didn't want to be a part of, that she was going to be the change she wanted to see within that matrix. And I really honor and respect that. And then I found out her and I have all the same Sun through Mars placements, except our moons are in different air signs. She's a moon in Aquarius, I'm a moon in Libra, and she's a projector, and she's an 8th house stellium. I was like, oh my god. And I'm like totally believer from like the same star system. Just all these little things that have been coming up and I've been sitting with, and actually have been really assisting me in like empowering myself, instead of feeling that I need to feel empowered by a man or empowered by the masculine outside of myself, but can be empowered by the masculine within myself and say, okay, I received this dream, this insight, and I sat with this dream, and now because I've had this dream, what can I do to put this dream to action? What can I do within myself to put some physical exertion into making this possible, and not feeling like I have to wait on anyone else to do it. And not that I have a difficulty doing things on my own, because I'm a really hard worker and I love working and I have a great work ethic and I like to be useful and get things done. That's my Mars in Virgo. But when you have a moon in Libra, you often do think about the other. Even with a Mars in Virgo, you think about the other, and a rising Capricorn and Sun in Cancer, like kind of built to care for others, but doing so in a way in which I'm not like martyring myself and empowering myself. So that's what I plan to do with these new epiphanies that I've received, and that's why I wanted to share this message, because I know there are some other beings out there, whether you be masculine or feminine, masculine or feminine, or you're masculine in your feminine energy, feminine in your masculine energy, And maybe taking a moment, especially my mother pointed out to me, she's like, I notice you always need a confirmation to choose to do something. Like you're always looking for a sign. And most of the time I am, and that probably goes into that fantastical nature of mine. It's like, oh, I got a confirmation, this is what I should do. But some of it does kind of tie into my intuition and my splenic authority and whatnot. But I found it interesting that she did bring that up, because I do feel in a lot of ways it kind of also ties in with like basing your life off of the other, off of things outside of you. And so I'm really working to choose to do things based on what my heart tells me, along with my intuition. And so if this is a moment that you can have where you sit and think, am I making choices really because of other people? Am I making choices because my partner is making it? Or am I making these choices because I want to make them? And when I released that off of me and said, okay, irrespective of anyone else, me being a human in this human experience, me being from a star system and coming down to Earth on a mission, specifically feeling that you are on a mission and clarifying what that is and what you're meant to do. Yes, there will be people who work on this mission with you and people you'll meet and interact and experience this mission with, but ultimately it all comes down to you and what your heart is calling you to do. And those who are meant to be within that sphere will be guided and led to you and be placed within that sphere, and you'll have the discernment to know if they're for you or not. So yeah, that's something I feel would be beneficial for anyone who's clicked on this. If you just take a moment and just like, you can even do it right now literally, and just be like, am I doing the things I want to do? Am I choosing to do this because this is what my partner wants to do? Am I choosing to do this because it's what my mother wants me to do? Am I choosing to do this because this is what I feel is what society should be doing? Or is it something I'm choosing to do because I want to, and I know it'll bring me joy and it'll bring others joy, and sharing my joy? And really going from there and journaling it, talking about it like I am now, would all be really beneficial, I feel. And I don't want this video to become any longer, so perhaps this will be something I speak on again, especially in terms of like speaking on it in the comments with you more personally, if you'd like to do that. So yeah, I just needed to share this revelation because it's affecting a lot of the choices that I'm making, and like the timeline shifts that will be occurring, because I'm making them based on my core, my center, my mission. And I imagine things are going to get really interesting from here. So thanks for sharing the space and holding the space for me to share it. Mr. Linksy appreciates it as well. And yeah, let's discuss in the comments, or if you have any tips, any confirmations, anything you feel called to share, please do. And until I speak with you guys again, as always, I am sending you peace and love. Stay open to the signs and synchronicities awaiting you in your now moments.